Hey, what is going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Trainer Talk. Unfortunately, Caitlin is a little bit sick, so it's just Bethany and I today. But we want to talk about the hidden costs to everything in life. A lot of people think that, they do different things to try to save in areas of their life, like I'm saving money, I'm saving time, things like that. But they don't often think about the costs associated with those things. And we want to specifically talk about the areas of health and fitness and nutrition, because a lot of people try to cut corners and think that they're kind of saving in certain areas by maybe not having to buy a gym membership or training, not have to buy healthy foods and take the time to meal prep. They go through fast food and they buy more unhealthy, cheaper food options, but they don't think about the costs associated with those decisions. So what does it cost you by not going to the gym and maybe going through fast food every day to save time and save a little bit of money if you had to meal prep? Well, it costs you your health. It costs you long term. You're not going to be nearly as healthy. You're going to shave off years on the end of your life. You're also going to feel a lot less energized because you're not getting the nutrients that you need and you're not moving your body, things like that. So we want to kind of talk about and decipher the different hidden costs with the decisions that we make on a daily basis. So that's kind of the first two, but we'll kind of dig a little deeper into the fitness side of it and the nutrition side of it.
Yeah. And one thing to note is that people like to save their money. So all of these things that they're trying to save money on or cut back on, they're saving that money so that they can have time later in their life where they don't have to worry about money because they have all this saved up. So that way they can enjoy life. A lot of people get there and they're not able to enjoy life because they can't move around because they didn't take care of their bodies by eating well and exercising. They have all these different health problems that limit them and what they can do. And it's unfortunate because you don't have the freedom to do all the things you want to do because you didn't have the discipline physically. You had the discipline with your finances and something that you can also transfer, but you were costing your health and you actually lost out on some of the freedom later in life by being stringent and by saving the cost from putting your health first. And instead, by putting the money first, you had the money later, but you didn't have the health later. So I think it's really important to find the balance of the two of them. You do maybe have to spend a little bit more each month if you do prioritize the better quality food, the gym membership, some coaching, something like that. But later on, it's an investment to have your health later in life, just like you would invest into your savings account. There's your health savings account and there's your money savings account.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it basically comes down to realizing that money isn't the only form of payment. Like, we pay for things with our time, our energy, all kinds of different things. So you need to stop kind of thinking about it all as like money-based goals, saving an X amount, only spending so much. You need to think about it in other areas. Like, for example, I pay kind of with my time every day. In the middle of the day, I take 30 minutes and relax and take my power nap. That costs me 30 minutes. But in return, I gain probably 2 to 3 hours of productivity. So I actually get a return on my investment of my nap. So, for example, if you pay your time to come into the gym for 30 minutes, yeah, you're losing out on 30 minutes that you could be doing something else, like working or whatever it might be. But you're going to get that boost of endorphins. You're going to get some dopamine, serotonin. You're going to feel really good. And then you might go back to work or you might go home and have enough energy to get a bunch of stuff done. So you got to realize that there are rewards and costs that are different than just the dollar bill. And that's kind of another thing I wanted to talk about, is just like, we only think about trying to, like she said, like save the dollars, and we're thinking about the future. Like, we have a specific budget, things like that. But we don't realize that the cost to those decisions, not taking care of yourself because you can't afford it, not eating better because you can't afford it, things like that. Like, you got to realize that it's going to cost you maybe not even 20 years down the road, but maybe even 5 or 10 years down the road. You're not going to be as happy with yourself. Your health and energy is going to decline, and it's going to be harder to make that transition to a healthy person the longer you wait on investing in yourself. And I want you to think about everything that you do with health and fitness, buying food, buying a gym membership, getting coaching, whatever it is, think of it as an investment and not a cost. It doesn't cost you something because you're getting something in return. Okay? So think of it more like an investment in yourself, just like if you put a little bit of your money into a retirement account, 401k, it's going to grow over time. It's going to have a return on your investment. Same exact thing. Invest a little bit more of your money and your time on your health and your nutrition and your fitness, and you're going to live an exponentially healthier and happier lifestyle.
Yeah, and I really like that you brought that up. We talked about that a couple episodes ago. Don't remember the name of the topic, but where we kind of compared money, like health is wealth, and the two of those, I think they really pair hand in hand, because people can relate to money a lot, but they don't always see the correlation between the health and the wealth, that spectrum there. So another way to put it, if you go into debt, whether you buy a house or you have college student loans, car payments, whatever, it kind of becomes a snowball, right? It's a snowball effect. If you just keep accumulating more debt, and then there's more interest on that over time, to the point where you have so much debt, and if you don't pay it off at a certain point, you have so much debt built up at the end where there's almost like no way you're ever going to pay it off, right? And some people do run into that. And that's the same thing with health. Is, if you keep putting the improper amounts of food, you're overeating, you're not exercising, not taking care of your body, and not doing the things either inside or outside of the gym that are going to lead to a long, healthy, happy life, that compounds and that snowballs over time till you have that health debt. And at the end of life, where you start to have type 2 diabetes, heart disease, cancer, different things like that are brought on by these preventable things that you can fix or prevent by eating right and exercising, taking care of your body first, instead of waiting until it's too late and that snowball is way too large when people are at the end of their life, which is, it's hard to think about and see, especially with like family members, friends, people we know that they die from these diseases, and knowing their lifestyle, we know that it could have been prevented through these actions, taking these steps. So putting those two back to back, people can kind of conceptualize, okay, so it's like having that debt snowball, never paying that off, and always having that getting worse and worse over time. It's the same thing with health. If you're not taking care of your body, it might not be a problem right now. You might have your healthy blood levels, healthy cholesterol levels. You might be fine right now, but one day that's going to tick over and you're going to be in the unhealthy side. And it's just going to keep snowballing from there. So thinking of even, investing, it's great, putting that time in now to save for that future, but also avoiding the debt. The health debt is a big thing.
Yeah. And I think that all is accumulated because people don't achieve that goal. What leads to that is instant gratification. So people are very reliant and they live for instant gratification. They're never thinking about the future. They're not thinking about long-term health and happiness. They're thinking about day to day. What do I need to do day to day to save the most, be the most productive? How do I save the most time? So fast food, trying to save as much time so they're not going to the gym or exercising because they're in such a on-the-go type of lifestyle. And it all comes down to instant gratification. Think about every time we pick up our phone and check social media, we get that little hit of dopamine when we get the notifications, and then you want to relax and you watch Netflix because you get that warm, comfortable feeling. We don't think about the cost to those things either. So those things have a cost. You might pull out your phone and scroll social media. What is that costing you? You think, oh, it doesn't cost me anything to look at that. Well, it costs you your focus, your attention, your energy, and you only have so much brain power in a day before it's pretty much wiped out. And almost everybody listening can relate to this, but when you get to the end of a really tough day and you just want to lay there and shut your eyes, that's because you're pretty much out of brain power. And our phones and TV and social media, they rob us of all that attention and focus and basically discipline and motivation. So if we take from certain areas of life where we're giving too much energy to a negative habit, and we put it toward a positive habit. So instead of investing our time into something that's going to drain our energy and our health, take it and put it into something that's going to boost it. And yeah, it's going to cost you dollars to go to the gym or get a coach. But what you got to realize is every other hour of your day is going to be more impactful. You're going to have more energy, more confidence. You're just going to feel better overall. And we've actually had clients that made certain lifestyle changes, started adopting better habits, eating cleaner, drinking more water, working out regularly, and she's gotten promoted in her job not once but twice in the last 2 years because she's just basically operating at such a higher level. Mm-hmm. And it's simply because she's taking care of herself. So you got to realize that it might cost you in the short term to invest in yourself, into your health and your nutrition and your fitness, but it pays off in so many different ways. And we're just happier individuals overall, and that spreads to everybody around us too. So your family is going to notice, and they're going to be like, what are you doing? And they're going to be happier from it and get energy from it. I like using the term battery chargers and battery drainers a lot. Everybody knows that person that every time you see them and you say, hey, how's it going? And they're just like, could be better or not bad. They're just kind of this battery draining type person. Unfortunately, a lot of people out there are like that because they're just simply not taking care of themselves. They don't have that positive mindset. They probably have brain fog and low energy every day. And it's simply just because they don't have the right lifestyle habits that they need to lift them up and make them live with purpose and happiness. And so when you can make that shift, you become a battery charger. And everybody knows that person where when you see them, you say, how's it going? And they're like, fantastic, how are you? And they lift you up and make you more excited. And they're like, oh, wow, I want to be more like them. So start with yourself. Like if you want to be a happier person, like start taking care of yourself, and it just kind of spreads to everybody else. And everybody else has a higher quality of life from it. So kind of got into the weeds a little bit and talking about other people, but it just goes to show like the benefits of, this stuff doesn't cost anything if you think about the value that you get back from it.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up the specific examples of different people and how, especially parents, they say, okay, well, I can't work out these days because I have to take care of my kids and stuff like that. And, we have so many parents that come in and they say, I am such a better parent. I have more almost like stress tolerance or more patience with kids, and they're in a better mood when they go home to their kids. They improve their kids' lifestyles too. So then their kids are living happier, healthier lives. And that's the goal of pretty much all parents, is to provide for their kids, make sure that they are healthy, happy, and doing the best that they can with the knowledge that they have. And I think that's one thing that people might overlook a little bit, is that's one of the benefits of coming to the gym, is how many people you influence outside of the gym. Mm-hmm. Like for me, it was my mom. I influenced coming here and adopting these different lifestyle habits, and then it kind of got her interested in it. And once she started coming to the gym, and then it trickled out into all these different other things, and now she's telling all her friends about it, and she's like, oh, you coworker, you should come with me. Friends, you should come with me. Instead of going out to the bar, now they come to the gym, which
different kind of bar.
Yeah, different kind of bar. They're like, meet me at the bar, but it's a different way. Anyways, a little side tangent on that too. But the amount of benefits you get from the hard work and the time that you have to put into the gym and to eating right is totally worth it. You get so many different benefits from the working out, where, like you said, you get that hit of dopamine, the serotonin, and everything like that. Whereas the other habits, such as Netflix and scrolling social media, that actually taxes the dopamine system in a negative way. So that way, afterwards, you're not motivated to do anything. So
drains your energy.
It drains your energy. And if I sit down and I'm going to scroll on social media for 15 minutes. Afterwards, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do any of the things that I'm supposed to do. But instead, if I get up and I start moving around and, maybe start cleaning or picking up something or just kind of walking around, getting some steps in, some movement in, that movement kind of spurs me to already do something else. So I just end up want to keep moving. And then I get way more done if I just don't look at my phone at all and really don't have a desire to go on social media anymore, because it's just same thing over and over again. And you almost train yourself out of that habit by focusing on incorporating good ones. And that way you automatically kind of hit two birds with one stone in that regard, because you start saving, putting into that investment of your health. And then that automatically kind of takes away one of the things that's taking away from your health. So it's almost like a double whammy. You get 2 times the results and the benefits of it by removing that bad habit and replacing it with a good one.
Yeah. And not to mention, like when you work out and eat healthy, like you get immediate better feeling from it. So you do get the instant gratification of the dopamine release, the serotonin, but then you also get the long-term benefit of it too, if you do it consistently. Whereas with unhealthy foods, for example, you go to Dairy Queen and get a Blizzard, which I do sometimes, but very occasionally, so it doesn't affect my result. I get the instant gratification of this tastes amazing, but then 10 minutes later, I feel like garbage.
Yeah.
So you don't get any long-term benefit at all, So people need to start thinking about the costs associated with all the decisions that they make. Is this going to make me a better person, a healthier person, more energetic, or not? And then make the decision on is it worth it or not? Because it's hard for people to understand if they don't have the knowledge. But like for me, people go to the grocery store and they buy boxes of processed food because it's cheaper, but what they don't realize, it doesn't provide any of the nutritional value that you require on a daily basis. So that's like, to try to put this into perspective for people to understand, if you go to the gas station and they have 2 different types of gas, and the one gas is half the price as the other one, but the cheaper gas, it makes your car run at half the power and you get 1/3 of the gas mileage. But it's cheaper, so everybody buys it. But then they run at half the power, so half the energy, and they can only make it 1/3 the distance. Is it cheaper? No. The price that the gas that's twice as much gets you not just 2/3 farther, but you're also running on full power. So when you buy food that's healthy for you, nutrient dense, it might be cost more money, but it's going to give you the nutrients and the energy that you need to operate how you should, and it keeps you healthy long term. So there's a double whammy there. So that's how I think of it, is like, I need to get these nutrients in because that's what my body needs. You don't go to the gas station and be like, I don't want to pay for gas, I'm going to put water in there. It's not going to work. You know what I mean? So start thinking about all the decisions you make on a cost to kind of the value basis. Like, how much value am I going to get from this? Or how much am I really saving?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and all of this kind of boils down to why should you do it? We talk about this all the time. Every single decision you make, you have to ask yourself why. What is your why? Who do you want to be? And how do you want to live? Why do you want to be a healthier and fit person if you want to be a healthier and fit person? Start thinking about those core reasons, and then it'd be so much easier to actually make the decision of investing more into your health and fitness and those around you and living that higher quality of life. So yeah, hopefully this all helps you guys. We just wanted to give you a breakdown on, there are hidden costs to kind of every decision that we make. So just start thinking about those things and start asking yourself, is this a decision that's going to benefit me in the future or take me further down the rabbit hole of where I don't want to be in the future?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one tip to think about this, or what I do to think about if I'm making the right decision, is I have a way to visualize if I have an inner toddler who is the immature self and wants to do all the impulsive things like watch Netflix for 2 hours, scroll on social media, eat whatever food I want, do all the things that I shouldn't do, and then not do any of the things that I should do, and then go back at it from my more mature side and say, okay, am I giving in to my inner toddler? Am I going to let my toddler have its tantrum and do whatever and get whatever it wants, and then I'm just reinforcing it? Or am I going to make the decision right now that's the mature decision, because I'm an adult and I should make the right decisions in my life? And that's just kind of what helps me to stay on path. If I want to have, ice cream or something at night, do something that's going to take me away from my goals when it's not going to benefit me in any ways. Like, obviously there's times, Taylor gets this blizzard, that's fine. Occasionally it's good to treat yourself, but asking yourself, hey, is this the mature decision, or is this the immature inner toddler that wants to just do whatever it wants to do and have instant gratification all the time?
Yeah. And basically, at the end of the day, you have majority control over your kids. Like, you can't just let your kids do whatever they want. You have some type of control. So basically, we need to start controlling our decisions as well,
Yes.
right? So yeah, hopefully this all helps you guys. Basically, just start looking at all those decisions that you're making and start putting a value on them. You might be saving a little bit of money here by not doing something, but is it beneficial or is it not beneficial to your actual health and wellness and energy? So hopefully this helps. If you have any questions at all, reach out and we'd be happy to talk with you. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can see all the future videos. And until the next one, stay healthy. Bye.